Nepac, the Jaguar god of war and terrestrial fire, one of the major Chucwic gods of wonder, now finds himself trapped in a temple constructed for his glory. He promised his followers invincibility and invulnerability, a fancy way of saying they would be immune to all forms of suffering. What a farce. He neglected to warn them that the path leading away from the gods of pain would distance them cruelly from their humanity with every sacrifice accepted. As they embraced the powers of the Jaguar god, their sense of empathy dissolved, and a cruel savageness filled the void. They began to paint their walls in their kindred's blood. I have tasted Temoc's powers and paid him in gold. The true price is not the precious metals spent, but the precious memories of those who loved me, buried and forgotten.
Not every soul came to the temple in search of power and immortality. Some, like me, were victims of ill fortune. Others were there to rescue those they loved. Confessions of Pablo Cordoba.
The followers of Yats, the eagle goddess of sky and stormfire, were indeed an electrifying sect to be rightfully feared. The promise of the goddesses of wonder was omnipotence, which translated from Chucwic into the power to kill with the blink of an eye. The price for the power to slay at will was far dearer than the gold they paid. Killing with rapidity became a sport to them, and each lesser soul that crossed their gilded paths an opportunity to display their gruesome gifts and bathe in the blood of their superiority. I have traded both gold and blood for Yats's powers, and with each gift, a piece of my soul. I dare not stop to wonder how much a soul might weigh and how many pieces can be traded before it completely expires. I fear some nights that should I one day find a door leading out of this hell, it would be a monster that escapes. A creature that had forgotten completely what it meant to be humane.
I know a piece of my brother Clovis remains within that electrified frame. He defied a goddess to spare my soul, and it cost him greatly. Diary of Marie-Clothilde de Pardieux.
I should have known better than to trust a snake. No matter how tempting her songs and inebriating her secrets, Xucat, Serpent goddess of divine sight and perception, is the most treacherous of the gods of wonder. For her lies are cloaked in a truthful passion for mystery. She promises omniscience, which her followers mistakenly believe is a path to controlling their own futures. It is only once their husk has lost its vibrant shape and their hairs have turned to wire that they realize they have also escaped life as they once enjoyed it. Xucat reveals to them so many amazing things, more than a mind can hold, and it drives them to the brink of madness. Xucat's brews, if taken with good measure, do heighten the senses, and when their effects are in full force, it is as if one could smell gold through the walls and treasures through the oak of their chests. In the end, greed is the only virtue the serpent goddess truly inspires. And true death is the only thing remaining worth a wish.
blessed child promised me the secrets of the gods, and she filled my mind until I had forgotten who I was. Conversations with the Deceased by Belinda Davenport.
I have learned so little about the god of death and my countless resurrections within these cursed walls. The Xucat call him the leader of the gods of pain. All I know is that now he rules these temple walls. Once dedicated to the gods of wonder and the Jaguar, Serpent and Eagle gods are now his prisoners. Shebeltsalok claims that he only wants men to remain human and women to remain humane. Such is his purpose, and such is his aim. All I know is that I want him dead. 1,000 evils could never hide a single gesture of good.
And so, one day Shebeltsalok, after a glass of blood and a good laugh, offered me my freedom. Confessions of Pablo, Cordoba.
Death's champion wears a familiar smile, one that echoes now my own. A mixture of determination and despair. I now know this brother, Clovis, who was once a pretender like myself, and seems to have faltered on the final step of his escape. He came here looking for powers that would help him restore his family's wounded honor. He now stands coveted into Shebeltsalok's guardian, and ironically, it was his family that came looking for him. Though his body has suffered too many deaths to hope for a return to normal life, Clovis is still animated by a purpose. For his sister walks these walls somewhere as a reluctant pretender herself. Marie-Clothilde refuses to fight her sibling, and so now he fights for the both of them. Though I know I must destroy him, for he blocks my path to liberty, I find myself jealousing his resolve. I cannot remember loving anyone so much that I would die for them eternally. I must tell myself I am doing him a favor, ending his ridiculous charade.
I would not have recognized my Clovis, save for that little moan he gasped when he realized it was truly me weeping before him. Diary of Marie-Clothilde Pardieux.
To those who await my return, forgive me. I have defeated this place and its gods, and the dying Shebeltsalok explained the choice I had to make. Leave and free the gods of wonder, or become his champion and keep them in. I have chosen to stay. Though freedom is impossible, there are a few privileges awarded to Death's guardian. I freed Marie-Clothilde and let her depart with her brother's remains. She kissed me with a kiss that gave me more pleasure than regret, and then ventured forth into what for her would be a new century. Shebeltsalok laughed and told me that she was not the first pretender to escape, and it would be up to me if she were to be the last. I could not allow the gods of wonder to roam the earth again. Their promises proffered to my modern world would drown humanity in greed and heartless competition. They would be the death of humanity. Someone has to remain human here, to keep the gods at bay, and to keep pretenders from selling their mortality. I am Caradog McCallister, Death's champion, and guardian of the dead gods.
I met a man, a noble man, worn and tempered by the fires of the temple, who had saved his own soul. I owe him my life. Diary of Marie-Clothilde de Pardieux.